What's up, everybody? Well, today I'm here to show you another vacuum that just joined my vacuum collection, and it is another Hoover Elite. As many people know, I love Hoover Elites, and I always try to snatch one up whenever a good-looking one comes across my path. And today I've found something that's pretty rare to a lot of collectors. Here I present to you a Hoover Elite Commercial Lightweight Upright Vacuum, model C1404. This is one of the many commercial variants of the Hoover Elite, and this is the soft bag version, the C1404. There was also a version that came in a hard bag. That was the C1414. That one also came with onboard tools. That was the one I was originally after. But what made me end up getting this one was I got this at a local pawn shop in my area for 40 bucks. And honestly, I think I definitely got really lucky when I found this thing at a pawn shop. I rarely find Hoover Elites in my area anymore because they are so used and neglected, like a lot of vacuums are that are bought by most average consumers. They just use it until it breaks from neglect, and then they toss it out to buy some other disposable piece of crap. But anyway, this definitely has a lot of use out of it over the years. It was likely used commercially for the environment it was built in. However, I do believe that even though these were made for commercial use, they're honestly not that commercial grade compared to their competition. Most of the upgrades to make it commercial grade are mostly inside the motor, and a little bit of a different cord design. But I'll go through that later in the video. So let's go ahead and walk through the machine. Typical low-end Elite, it doesn't come with the deluxe grip handle, but the handle grip does feel nice. I'm very used to the handle grip on Hoover Elites now because I have so many of these in my collection. And moving along down here, it does come with the side zip bag on this particular model. The predecessor to the C1404 was the C1403, which that version came out in the early to mid 90s, and that one had the slide top bag, which Hoover eventually went to the side zip bag on this because it's more convenient to get access to your bag on the side. As typical, whenever I get an Elite, I always throw in a HEPA cloth bag. This is a generic HEPA cloth Type A bag. These bags are very large, these Type A's. You could fill up a lot of dirt with them. And zip this guy back up. The zipper doesn't go all the way to the top for whatever reason, because this does have quite a bit of wear on it over the years. And down here you do have your stair cleaning handle that you can hold on right here to use this thing on carpeted stairs. And the hood design on this is basic as you can get. It comes with no headlight and not even any carpet height adjustment or even a little port for a hose. This hood design is really reminiscent of that of the Hoover Elite 200, which was the base version of the Elite series. And you can see you have your lettering on here, Hoover Commercial Lightweight, and Hoover symbol right there. An automatic carpet height adjustment. Well, actually it has no carpet height adjustment at all. There's edge cleaning right along the side there. Does have some scrapes and scuffs from day-to-day use. But now let's go ahead and tip this thing back to show you the underside. Now when I got this, the original brush roll in this was a green soft bristle brush roll that was extremely wore out and had seized bearings inside of it. I still have the brush roll. The bristles are in okay condition on that one. I may rebuild that and stuff it in another Elite machine should I get another one. So for now, I threw in this replacement CWP wooden roller brush roll. And honestly, in my opinion, these CWP brush rolls are better built than even the genuine Hoover brush rolls. Why do I say that? That is because this has seal ball bearings on both sides. The Hoover genuine brush roll does have ball bearings, but it has the plastic end caps inside the bearings. So it heats up pretty easily for in a commercial environment. So I think these CWPs are honestly a better option. And the bristles are still pretty soft, but compared to the original brush roll that came with it, the bristles are very dense. So mostly this is going to be used for a commercial environment, and back then Hoover didn't really care about the whatever bristles they put into it, because it was mostly going to be used for commercial low pile area rugs and maybe low pile carpets in hotels. But you will notice on the base plate, this thing actually uses 2 screws to hold down the bottom plate, besides the 2 latches that you have to pop off in order to change the belt. And also typical Elite fashion, not only do you have to pop off the belt, but you have to pop off the top hood assembly just to get to the belt. So yeah, it is not easy to change the belt on these Elite style machines. But anyway, let's go ahead and tip the thing on its back to show you the model number. Here, right here, is Hoover Cleaner model C1404, 120 volts, 60 hertz. This has a 7.1 amp motor. Pretty interesting that they decided to make it 7.1 instead of, 7 amps or maybe 7.2 amps, which seems to be the popular amperage for these vacuums back then. And this is bag type A. There's the belt model number. And look at the serial number for these. For this one at least. This is what really blew my mind. Is, as people don't know, the serial date these old Hoovers, the first 2 digits decode the month. 3rd and 4th decodes the year. So 04 of 07. So this vacuum was manufactured in April of 2007. I never knew these commercial Elites were new, especially not this new, especially with the Elite 200 style hood. And now I know they kept the commercial Elites for all the way up until 2012, even long after TTI bought out the company. But for it to be manufactured in 07, I believe this is the last year for the Elite 200 hood style of the C1404, before they pretty much simply went to the normal lower end Elite style ridge hood with the onboard tool port, but the C1404 still didn't come with tools, so I don't know why that, but the 1414 with the hard bag did. So pretty interesting that I've seen an Elite 200 style machine that's this new. And also the motor is double insulated, which ultimately earns it the commercial name. Put this thing back up. Also, another thing about the motor on this is the fan impeller that's in it. From the factory, this comes with a 20 blade fan, which, as you know, does come as a retrofit for older style Elites that you could put in to basically give the motor a little bit more power, and it does do it pretty good. But what made Hoover ultimately decide to put the fan into this was after 2001 that was all they had available, despite some new old stock 7-blade fans for older Elites. But the 20-blade fan impeller was much more shatter resistant than the 7-blade. So that's why Hoover ultimately decided to put that in these. And here is the cord on the back of the machine. It is a very long commercial grade cord with that unfortunately you have to release it the old-fashioned way because the upper hook, unfortunately, does not rotate. And the reason why is because the cord hook design is twofold. So the upper port, you could simply just hang the cord right here so you don't have to wrap it all the way around, which I normally like to do. But also this bottom part right here allows the vacuum to hang on to a maid's cart in hotel service, which is very nice and convenient. And there's the cord all released. This has got to, I think it's at least a 40-foot cord, so it's pretty long. But what really gets me is the plug end, and which is only a 2-prong, which is weird. A lot of the commercial vacuums use normally a 3-prong cord that has the extra ground up at the top. I'm guessing because the wiring design on these Elites, they can only do a 2-prong, which is not that major of a deal. At least in the olden days of the Maytag, the plug end looks a lot more heavy duty than after TTI took over the company. And also has this very big strain relief to prevent it from getting frayed. And so let's go ahead and plug this guy in. Interestingly enough, for not having the third ground, it definitely covers over this top part of the plug end, or so almost like it has a 3-prong, but in reality it doesn't. So now let's go ahead and turn this thing on and demo it running for you. And typical Elite fashion, these things are pretty loud when they're running, so headphone users, I advise turning down your volume for this. So here we go. nice and smooth. It is very powerful for a vacuum of its size. And it's a real shame Hoover discontinued a legendary and iconic vacuum design. So, I hope you've enjoyed this video of the Hoover Elite Commercial Lightweight C1404. Be sure and stay tuned, and don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.